Hey, welcome everybody to the Voice of E-Commerce. This is Coach Kurt Johnson, and I'm going to do a transition here so you can see my face and my awesome guest, which I'll introduce more in just a moment, Sharon Safford. We are celebrating E-Commerce Business School's open house this weekend through the holiday weekend, and we are stoked about that. And this is somewhat of an edition of Voice of E-Commerce, if you will, the broadcasting arm of the E-Commerce Business School. And today is day one of our big 4-day weekend. We're celebrating with a free membership. Yep, you got that right. And our goal is to display to the public that we're real people. I'm real. Sharon, are you real?
I think so.
All right.
I was.
Brian, thank you for being here. If you can hear both of us, let us know. I had a few audio tech glitches yesterday, and I just want to make sure you could hear both of us there. That would be great. You know, I'm thrilled to have everybody here. And let's take a look at your business and bring it to the next level. So if you want to be, and Clark too, I haven't seen Brian yet. Thank you for joining us. I know there's quite a significant lag time, but if one of you could let me know that you can hear both of us, and I'm gonna, hey, sweet, it worked. Hey Tim, welcome. All right, so if you'd like to be added to the Voice of E-Commerce, we just give a lot of free training, a lot of free information about the industry of e-commerce. Feel free to add me in the box there where Tim and Clark and Brian are, and we'll just keep going here. So yeah, just add me and that would be great. So hey, I am so privileged and honored to have Sharon Safford with me today. She is a long-time member of the E-Commerce Business School, and we're just here having fun on our Thanksgiving long weekend. If you're in America, we had Thanksgiving yesterday, and Sharon, I told her I just wanted to talk about accountability because she is a role model for everybody, all of our hundreds of students here at the E-Commerce Business School, and just community and family, what that's meant to her over the last challenging year that she has had. So Sharon, tell us just a little bit about yourself, where are you from, who you are, maybe first how you engage with ANSIG or the E-Commerce Business School, and then we'll go from there. And thank you so much for taking time on this holiday weekend to help us let people know about how wonderful the E-Commerce Business School is because of people like you.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me to join in. And, basically, I started out with a teaching degree, but then went into the Air Force as an intelligence officer, met my husband Terry in Vietnam, came back and been traveling with him. He was a staff weather officer. And as far as accountability goes with that, you have to be accountable in the Air Force, right, Kurt?
Oh, yeah.
You know that. You can't shake it off. No excuse, sir.
No excuse, sir. Now, Sharon's giving me a little bit of a hard time because I run a boot camp. I'm actually the executive director of marketing and training here at the E-Commerce Business School, but I can't help doing a little coaching on the side, too, and I run a boot camp. Sharon and I were both working for the Air Force, and so I was in the Air Force. You worked for the Air Force, and Terry's actually an American. They were Americans, but they met in Vietnam. Anyway, we'll go on with that story in a minute. So she's giving me a little bit of a hard time of me liking to be a drill sergeant.
That's exactly correct. But anyway, I Terry and I had done some remodeling on our house here back in 2015. And the person that came to sell us a whole house water filtering system happened to be one of Ann's clients, or had followed Ann. And the one thing that she said, because we were talking about e-commerce business and my doing something, and since I wanted to leave a consultant job that I had. She said, I can trust Ann. That's the only one that I would trust. So I came to one of Ann's meetings in Minneapolis. That was actually in September of 2015, but I was at a point that I really wasn't ready to take anything. And I'm one of these people, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be 100 to 110%. I'm going to give that effort. I wasn't, but I was in what I call SpongeBob mode. I sat there and I listened to everything that everybody had to say. And the next meeting was in April of 2016, and that's when I decided to jump in with both feet. I joined EMP that's e-commerce master's program, with both feet and haven't looked back. I do not regret that decision one bit, because I got the training, I got the encouragement, I got the tools that I need to keep moving forward.
Awesome.
Even though there's times that you stumble back, like in anything, you always have somebody there behind you to say, come on, get up and go forward.
You know, it's kind of funny, Sharon. I think we have almost as many acrostics here at the E-commerce Business School as the Air Force uses. But one of the tools that you engaged with as soon as you started, and again, I'm sincere, you're a role model. You do it the most faithfully, the most consistently, and the best. And that is a end-of-day tracker, and just at the end of the day, and a weekly reporting in. And you're very faithful and consistent in doing that. And accountability is such an important part of being in business for yourself, like we do here with e-commerce and internet marketing. Can you tell us why you do that? How? Just speak to that, if you would, please.
Yeah, it's very easy. Nobody's here to tell me what to do. I am my own boss, and somebody has to be accountable to somebody if you're going to make any gains. But I use that end of day tracker. It actually started out with the race to Minnesota before you had it, where we would say what we're going to do to get to where we needed to be. And, you know, for me, it's a therapy, because I can sit back and reflect. What did I do today? What did I want to do today? Did I get done? Is there something that I have to change? So is there something that's bothering me that I need to express to get those feelings out to move forward? So for me, it's actually a therapy. It takes 3 weeks to create a habit. And I'll tell you, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning if I haven't done my end of day report, and I get up and do it because it bothers me that I don't get it done.
Well, Sharon, that's awesome. I want to interrupt there, and you do that. That's one aspect of it. And by the way, if you've joined us late, you can just put add me in there. This is the Voice of E-commerce, the broadcasting wing of the E-commerce Business School. This is Coach Kurt Johnson, Executive Director of Training, and I'm sorry, Brian, I just stepped on your toes. Executive Director of Marketing and Sales. And so, but another aspect of it, Sharon, that I'd like you to address too, in accountability, you do that, but it's also two things: data-driven. I mean, you're giving your stats, even though you're sharing your challenges, victories, and all that. They're just stats-driven. It's data-driven, and it's not just you're submitting it. Do you get feedback?
Do I get feedback from Ann? Yes, on the weekly accountability, on the stats, and sometimes when I look at the numbers, and I do have an associate degree in accounting, so numbers do mean things to me. And also being a tax pro during the tax season, numbers mean something to me. But I look at those and I say, okay, is something working? What's not working? Where can I be? Can I improve these stats? And how can I do that? So I'm looking at it, and I'm actually doing strategic planning every night to get to where I need to be or where I want to be. So yes, there is the data center. I keep a spreadsheet that I call my sales tracker, and I can look at every day. I've been doing it now for 2 years. So I can look at a day, okay, this year, I only had 500 in sales. Last year, I had 398. Hey, I did better than last year. So what does that mean? It means it could mean that I'm actually getting more profitable product into the system. I'm actually selling the same number, very close to the same number of units that I sold in the previous year, which means, okay, you're selling less units or just a little bit more. And I'll share one of the stats. It's like $17,000 more with 100 more products. That means a lot to me, that it is becoming more profitable. So it helps me to build my business, to keep that data there and in front of me.
Great.
But it's not all consuming, because the numbers don't necessarily mean that you're doing something wrong or that you could do better. There's other things that you have to look at, as well as that. And that's where the community comes in. That's where Ann Sieg and her guidance comes in. It's where your daily dose of
Let me interrupt there just for a second, Sharon, before we go on to community. I got feedback that I'm a bad echo. I turned off one of my audio streams. Can you still hear me, Sharon?
Oh, perfectly.
Okay, and if anybody could give me feedback, I'll just talk less. I tried one thing to fix a bad echo. Let's see if that worked. If someone could give me some feedback somewhere. Clark says loud and clear, no problem. Okay, I'll keep going then. Cool. Thank you, Clark. At least if that was for now. Okay, good. Awesome. I think I fixed the problem. Well, Sharon, so you're in the community. Your commitment is stellar. You're submitting both your challenges from the emotional point of view, the challenge point of view, the victory point of view, but then also data that you can look at as one ingredient to analyze your business and take steps in moving forward. And then you're about to go into the community interaction of the community, which you've also dove into, and it's been a challenging year. Your ex-husband, and he's dead now. You know, we just loved Terry and all that. Deceased, sorry, that's a better word. I just am so grateful to you that you brought him to the event last summer, or was it a summer and a half ago now, that we got to meet and so on and so forth. And he gave such a great compliment to me and to us. You know, he said, you know, I've been in military stuff and conferences and all that kind of stuff. I'm not quoting him. He said, this is the best event I've ever been to. And so as you got engaged in the community, you wanted to share that with your spouse of many years, and you shared a little bit about your story. And then then this year's been really, really rough. Maybe even more so from, as people call us family here at the E-commerce Business School, we get unsolicited responses like that all the time. Could you share your story a little bit, the best you can? I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we just love Terry so much, and we love you so much, and you know, just how having a community when you're moving forward in life and business is so powerful.
Well, yeah, and I may turn teary like right now.
It's okay.
Anyway, for the lifestyle retreat, I did bring him because I wanted him to see why I wanted to stay in the community and why I was doing e-commerce business, because of the training, because of the people and the caring that everybody showed us. And he came there, and he was being silly with you, and he said that, you know, you were one of the best people that he had met, and he really, really related to you. Okay, and so that was back in June of 2017, and little did we know that even at that point he had we didn't have the results. It was another 3 months, I think, that we found out that he had stage 3 melanoma with no known source. We didn't know where it came from. We still don't know where it came from. So you know, we was dealing with that, and I always had faith that he was going to lick it and, you know, overcome it. But that was not to be the case. He really got sick February 28th of 2018. I was doing taxes at that time. It was a really rough tax season for me. But then the one good thing that came about, he was in the hospital on April 17th when we got done. I was with him every day. But we didn't realize that the chemo drugs was affecting his mind. And he actually went into a coma for a week. But on Easter morning, he woke up because he didn't get any of the cancer treatments, and we hydrated him, and he literally woke up on Easter morning, which was, you know, something very meaningful to me. And so they moved him in a couple of days. They moved him over to a rehab center to build his strength. And that was going well, and there was some improvement, but then things went to the worst, and we got him home like on the 1st of May, and he passed away on the 3rd of May. But he was at home when he did it, so that was a blessing. And all during this time, I could turn to
and you did. I'll just interrupt there for a minute, Sharon. And you did. What was really amazing to us is, even though the busyness, let alone the emotional trauma that you're going through, you stayed plugged into this community. and was such an example to others. We all go through really difficult times, but I mean that's way, way, way at the top of the list of losing a spouse after many years, and you stayed plugged in to the community, reporting in and letting us help you and encourage you and all of that. And so I just want to say thank you for your trust, and you've made us a better place because of what you've done for us, Sharon. Thank you.
And to me, that was my stabling force, to stable me and to level out what I was dealing with. Every night I know I could go there and I could express myself in an open environment and not be judged, which is something that is awesome in this community.
Yes, it's a safe place. And Ann Sieg and her coaches and trainers work really, really hard alongside Brian Cummings to make sure that's the thing. Well, last thing I just want to mention, any comments you want to make, and it's not just some big mass of lots of people. You've actually formed some pretty tight relationships with what we call our peer groups and things like that. If you want to mention anything there as the last thoughts on community, Sharon.
Yeah, and that's what we have, accountability groups that we have a weekly phone call. And you saw some of the interaction that we had at the lifestyle. I mean, if Don got up and talked, well, Rich couldn't let him talk without coming up behind him. And I said, hey, you guys aren't going to go. And we push each other on. But we're supporting each other. We're helping each other to talk about things that are bothering them or that maybe they need a different perspective on. And that helps us all in our business. Christy Dugan now has joined us, and she is a rock star. And I think she's going to be on at some point during the week. But anyway, again, we're all there supporting each other. Rich has actually took a road trip, came out here and helped me set up a computer. So that's the type of friendships. I think it's going to be lifelong friendships that we're going to have, even if we go away from the e-commerce business at some point in time. And I don't think you get those in other groups. It's that camaraderie, that safety. And there's actually another group. I was in 2 groups, and we are also in the same type of category with that friendship bonding.
Well, Sharon, I just want to thank you for being such an example, for being with us and just making us a better place. And yeah, Don and Christy and Rich has come into my neck of the woods, and we've had lunch together. And so so Sharon is referring to, for the rest of you listening, and if you want to be added to the Voice of E-commerce, we're going to be doing several of these through the holiday weekend. It's our open house. Just put add me in the box there. You'll get notified of when these live views. I did a quick look at the schedule, and you are right. Christy's going to be on Sunday late afternoon. Don is going to be Sunday morning. We're going to be talking to some of the others in your peer group because it's such a wonderful example to everybody in the community. And at the E-commerce Business School, we're really about that. We want to provide, and you are such an example of that, a results-driven mentorship e-commerce community. And so that results driven, we've talked about the accountability to make things happen in your business, but it's mentorship. And one of the programs that Sharon mentioned here was the e-commerce masters program. We actually have 3 or 4 levels of very close, tight mentorship within the e-commerce business school. And if you want to know more about those, we can help you with that too. Just hit add me and we'll be filling you in on that. So again, I am so grateful I got to know Terry. I am so grateful I've gotten to know you, Sharon. I am so grateful for the things that you do for our community. You're such a go-giver, and the e-commerce business school is, by doing this, really just straightforward. We are doing this so that people can know just how beautiful and a safe place, as you described, to come and get the business friendships and mentorship, camaraderie, but yes, accountability, and maybe every once in a while a little kick in the butt too, so that you achieve what you want to achieve. And so, Sharon, I'll leave you with the last word as we wrap it up here before I say goodbye.
Well, exactly, Kurt. That is the one thing that we have. I mean, life doesn't always go perfectly. There's going to be bumps in the road. And what you need to do is to face that with a positive attitude. You can have pity parties all you want for about 30 seconds. Then get over it, because there's always a solution or several solutions to whatever is facing you. And you have to maintain that positivity to go through it. And as I said, I couldn't have made it through this year without everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing your heart. And I know you love people enough to want them to be supported in whatever life entrepreneurial journeys they're on with us here at the E-commerce Business School. So on behalf of Ann Sieg and Brian Cummings and Cody Neer and everybody here at the E-commerce Business School, this is Coach Kurt, Director of Marketing and Sales. If I misstated that earlier, forgive me. And just in the panel there, if you want to give Sharon some love, I know she'd really appreciate that. She's such a loving and giving person in of herself, just to encourage her and her ongoing life story here at the E-commerce Business School. And we're going to be doing several more of these through the open house that we're celebrating this weekend here at there. You're getting some love, Sharon. So thank you for your time, and we look forward. Yep, and thank you, Sharon, for everything. We'll look forward to more in the later today and the days ahead. This is Coach Kurt signing off for now.